Hi, my name is Gamal Willis. I'm the Director of Court Advocacy and Outreach at Avenues for Justice. And in harmony with Black History Month, we have two gentlemen that embody the very essence of perseverance and success. So it's my privilege to interview and highlight Charles Gabriel and Quie Slobert. And they are owners here at Charles Pan Fried Chicken, here on 72nd Street, 146 and 77. So without further ado, let's talk and meet these gentlemen. Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning.
How are you today?
I'm fine, thank you.
Good. Pleasure. Once again, thank you so much for having us here.
Thanks for being here.
We'll be able to see the wonderful restaurant, your grand opening that you had a couple weeks ago, and with much success.
Thank you, appreciate that.
And so at this time, what we wanted to do is get to know the people behind the name. You all represent everything successful and the essence of Black history. And so we thank you for that.
Thank you.
And so with that in mind, I'd just like to ask, where did you originally come from? Are you from New York City?
No, originally from Charlotte, North Carolina.
Okay, Charlotte, North Carolina. And where did you learn the art of cooking, particularly fried chicken?
Well, I've been cooking since I was 7 years old. I was cooking with my mom in the kitchen.
Okay, very nice. Very nice. And so why did you come to New York?
Well, I came to New York because I figured, I'll see what New York like. I've never been, from the South to New York. So about 17 years old, my brother came here first. Then I said, and he said it was nice up here. So I said, let me try it. Let me go to New York. So I came to New York when I was 17. But I went back home because it was too cold here in New York.
I understand.
I went back home. Yeah, I went back home. So, and then I went back and stayed a couple years. Then I said, I'm going back again. So I came back, and I decided, got used to it. And I decided to stay here in New York.
Okay. And why did you choose the field of culinary or cooking?
Oh, I always loved cooking. For my mom, that's what I grew up cooking. That was my thing.
In fact, we were talking earlier. You come from a family. It was a big family, but it was a family of 18, if I remember correctly.
I had 12 brothers and 8 sisters.
Oh, my goodness. So you had to be a good cook.
That's right. We had to get in the kitchen and cook.
Exactly. And that shows that perseverance. So when you came back here, you began to work in Harlem, if I remember correctly.
Yes.
Copeland's?
Copeland. I worked at Copeland at like almost 22 years.
Oh, my goodness. And they were well renowned for their soul food.
Yes, they were. Yes, they was.
So why did you decide to do your own brand?
Because my cooking was a little different than Copeland. So I'm from North Carolina, so I did Southern cooking. So when I was working with him, so I was cooking. Well, he didn't know, so he said, I'm gonna put you in the kitchen. You think you could do this? He said, and how long it take you to do it? I said, give me a week and I catch it. Then he put me in there. So in a week, I was cooking his menu. So he said, okay. So he decided to leave and take vacation then. Now he can take vacation. He said, okay. He left me there in charge cooking. And so I started cooking, but I changed the recipe a little bit after he left because some things, that I felt that I could do a little better. So that's what I did. So I just changed the menu a little bit. But when he came back from vacation, he agreed with it. He didn't say nothing. So I explained it to him, some of the things that I, seasoned it, So I was there, and I was there cooking for him for like 22 years.
Excellent. Now it's interesting, when you go into Harlem, I know I've talked to a lot of people, and they always talk about Charles Pan Fried Chicken.
Yeah.
So when did you open up your first restaurant, and was it easy?
It wasn't. I had a truck.
Okay.
I had a mobile truck. I had a food truck. So I had a food truck for 5 years.
Oh, wow.
For 5 years. I used to cook out of my apartment.
Okay.
I used to cook out of my apartment, and I used to load my truck up. Then I used to go out and serve it. But what I did was, when I first started, I started with a table.
Okay.
I started with a table on the street. So I used to cook my food and bring it out by the park on 153rd Street by the park there.
Okay, yeah.
I used to bring it out there, and I used to sit down and just sell hot dog, chopped barbecue, and fried chicken.
You're getting me hungry now.
And fried chicken. So I did that for about almost 6 months before it got cold. So one lady came up to me and said, "What you gonna do, when it get cold?" I said, "Well, that's a good idea." She said, "Well, I tell you what, I have a truck. She said, I have a truck, and if you want, I'll let you use the truck." I said, "Yeah," but I can't afford to buy the truck right now. She said, "I tell you what, you take the truck, you pay me as you make the money." She let me use her truck. She let me use her permit and everything. So that's what really got me started. So with the truck. So I had the truck out there for 5 years, and I used to do a route. I used to get up in the morning, cook, load my truck. I used to go out at 11 o'clock. Every day I used to go to housing. I used to go to the welfare center, barber shop. I had a route for everybody, yeah. So everybody had a time frame, when I got there.
That's that hustler spirit.
Yeah.
Yeah, we all have that perseverance.
Yeah.
That is excellent.
Yeah.
Did you ever get discouraged at all?
No.
Kept on persevering.
Kept on, yeah.
Excellent. And it's interesting. The Colonel has his 7 herbs and spices. We have Popeyes and the like. What makes your chicken different?
Well, I have a special season my mom taught me to season, and make sure I season for 8 hours, and make sure that when you do the seasoning, when you season your chicken, make sure don't cook it until 8 hours. So that's what I did. So I made my season. I seasoned my chicken, and I let it set. Then I get up and I cook it the next day.
And
I don't think you can call it just seasoning. It's magic. There's definitely magic in it.
Yeah.
And go ahead. That's what I was gonna say. And the other thing is that love.
Love.
And every time
yeah.
I come here, I'm always giving love, and that's that soul,
Definitely
that soul food.
love. Yes.
Very
yes,
nice.
Yes.
I just want to ask you one more question, and then we're going to move on to this gentleman over here.
Okay.
Is you have any words of wisdom or any gems that you would like to tell our young people?
Well, I aspire all the young people, and I wish all the young people could, really be a chef in New York, and I will be willing to help any of them, to become a chef.
Thank you. You've been doing this now for how many years?
Over 50 years almost.
Experience and wisdom.
Yes.
Thank you so much for
Thank
all
you.
that. And this time we're going to interview Mr. Quie Slobert. How you doing, brother?
I'm blessed, man. I'm blessed.
Thank you so much. So what do you do here at Charles Pan Fried Chicken?
Well, you heard the hustle and bustle that Charles told you what he did, but he would go actually to the store, purchase it, come back, season it, prepare it, cook it, serve it, close down, clean up, sleep for an hour, and go do it all over again. You know what I mean? Basically, I'm his muscle now. I'm doing the hustling and bustling. I know about the hustle, and I'm already exhausted. He's been doing it for 40 years. So I'm just the hustle. He's the brains. I'm just doing the hustling part, learning from him, and it's been amazing.
How did you get into this line of work?
I always loved cooking with a passion. When I was younger, I used to go to Copeland's and eat oxtails. And the oxtails was delicious. I wanted to know who it was. And it wound up being, at 4 years old, Chef Charles was cooking my oxtails this whole time.
Say no more.
So I had a passion for cooking, and I went to culinary art school. After that, went to business school, and I jumped into the business. Started running restaurants.
That is amazing. That embodies what we're looking for Black History Month. Were there any obstacles or any hardships that you underwent?
Oh yeah, sure. Poverty. I grew up without. Typical black male story. No father, single parent. It was hard. I grew up in Harlem. Okay. Our location on Humphrey Fish and Edgecombe, I grew up in Bradhurst, 216 Bradhurst Avenue next to Polo Grounds. Around the way. So the real life, I grew up in the 80s, the crack era. So hardships, I've seen it. I've seen deaths. I've seen everything you probably could think of in rap music right now. I'm telling you, I've seen it and I lived it. So hardships, it was there. But hardships is this is the grind. It's hard choosing the right way when the hard way it's easy to go the wrong way.
Absolutely. And so thus the perseverance and the diligence on your part. That is tremendous. Do you have any gems that you want to give some of our young people who might be watching this and seeing the success that you have?
Grind time. Don't believe in the word don't or can't. Do what you do, no regrets. Go all in and go hard. Go hard. This is the saying is you want it as bad as you want to breathe. You know what I mean? And I like that. You know what I mean? You can do it. There's nothing you cannot do.
Excellent. Because our people have been doing that for centuries. So what a wonderful thing. And I want to ask both of you all. So, what's next for Charles Pan Fried Chicken?
Can I answer this? Right now we have 72nd Street location. We have another location at 145th. We'll be open in the next month. We have another location on 111th Street, and another location on 125th Street in Amsterdam. So we have 2022 is 4 restaurants opening. 2025 we're looking at Atlanta and DC. So here we come.
Look at that. Success. And we appreciate your excellent, sterling examples for each and every one of us.
Thank you.
So thank you so much. At this time, we're going to look and get something to eat. Anything that you recommend, gentlemen?
Yeah, I try that pan fried chicken, of course.
Okay, let's get it. Thank you.